Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at RingsFX, the brand new Physical Modelling Resonator from 4 Pockets. Are you ready to oge? I'm ready to oge. Oge. Hello, welcome to the show. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. Everyone doing well? You're doing good? You're doing fancy pants in the lance? I don't even know what that means, but I'm saying it to you. Welcome to the show. Our Wart Warriors for $1 a month. You can become a Wart Warrior. Costs $1. Help support the channel. All that kind of jazz. Custom emojis, stuff like that. Boom, bang, bing. We got a big show today to get on with. We got a featured artist, which is Viv Sparrow. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to play her song, or we're just going to all be dumped over to her premiere that's happening in exactly 1 hour's time. So hopefully I can whip through this demo today. We can get straight to it, get on it, and rock and roll. Thanks, Thomas, for posting the link to the Wart Warrior membership drive. G'day, Thomas, as well. Leanie's in the house. Leanie's coming on the show this week. If you don't know who Leanie is, you're certainly going to know this week because there she is, right next to me. Together, look at us, standing in front of a musical alchemist symbol. It's going to be a rad show. She's super fun. She's super talented. And I bet we're going to have a shitload of laughs. That's happening this week. Me and Leanie in the house. Look who's here. It's Viv Sparrow. I'm going to do my best to dump everybody over to your premiere today, Viv, because you're my featured artist today. Greg O'Sullivan's in the house. We got Jim Shannon. What's going on? Legs 11. Ali's in the house too. Who else is here? Audible Video, what's going on? Christopher Rossi, good to see you. Hugh Caldwell, boom. Catch your breath, Jade. Cy Effin, good to hear you working on new music, Cy. Saw you posted today on the Book of Face. Good to see, good to hear. Can't wait to hear that. Ed Zielinski's in the house. Boom. What's happening, Ed? Have I missed anyone? I'm scrolling up to make sure. I think I got most of you. Alrighty. If I've missed you, just let me know and I'll catch up. Say good day while I'm just having a quick preamble before the show. I got some news to spread. Let me tell you some news. So yesterday I was supposed to go out and film the walk with me. Unfortunately, where I was going, gusts of wind up to 50 kilometers. Not flying a drone in that because I'm not losing $1,000 drone in the wind. So I had to cancel it. Today also 50-kilometer winds. Had to cancel. So on Thursday I'm going to film Walk With Me, Friday edit it, and hopefully get it all done by Saturday my time, which is Friday your time. If you're in the US or UK, Falcro, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend also. Richard. Also, let me make an announcement now. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to tell you some news that's pretty exciting. I am officially in a band, in a real band, a playing, gigging band. And over the next few months, I'm going to take you maybe on a journey to see where this band goes. What are they called? What do they do? I'm not telling you. It's all a surprise. But I am officially the vocalist in a brand new band. So here in Melbourne, pretty big deal too. All right, let's get on with it. I'm pumped. I am pumped. I've got a shitload of songs to learn over the next few weeks because we're going to be going on tour. All right. Let's get into today's show. We are taking a look at over to the Beat community over here where you can get all your information and all this stuff on apps, iOS, desktop, and samples and expansions and stuff like that. Spatializers currently on sale. 4 Pockets has just released RingsFX. We're looking at it right now. GSDSP's released Quantum Distortion. Weeping Wall over here we're taking a look at tomorrow. It's pretty rad. Also, another bit of news also for our Patreons. Moving forward over the next month, the mastering, if you want to become a Patreon and get your songs mastered, costs $1 a month and maybe going up a little bit because I have just updated my software, updated the suite of what I master with. So mastering music is going to get a lot more going in the future. So there's that. What else? Let's get back over here. Nambu's got Iceworks on offer. I'm trying to get through the news and fill you full of interesting stuff. Hey, Michael Lanthia, what's going on? Good to see you. Iceworks, Nambu on sale. GSDSP updated all their stuff. EG Nodes we'll look at next week's had a massive update as well. So lots of big stuff happening here on the channel. And for apps, as you can see, Spatializer's on sale, Nambu. All of the Clev Grand apps are on sale for a huge 60% off sale kind of thing. Thanks, Thomas, for dumping the link if you want to become a patron. I do master your songs, and most of the apps you see here on the show, if you become a $5 patron, you go into the running to win nearly all the apps that we cover on here because the developers are very kind and provide codes to give away because we love our developers. All right, today we're taking a look at RingsFX. This is developed by 4Pockets, our dear friend Paul. Let's give you a quick, it's $12.99. It's really rad. You're going to see how rad it is in just a second. Yes, rad is my new word. I've owned it. It's mine. You can't have it. $12.99. I just want to say, Paul, an amazing friend of the channel, who's developed this app and many more 4Pockets apps, is about to start radiotherapy, and it's heavy stuff. What's going on? And if you're considering buying an app from Paul, a 4Pockets app, please do. If it's this one or something else, go and support him. They're zapping his brain, man. They're zapping cancer out of his brain, and he's still, to the last moment of going in to get zapped, still rushing to get apps out for us. Paul, he's a beautiful human being. He makes beautiful apps, So please support him. He really is a legend. What more can I say? All right, let's open up today's project. Love you, Paul, if you get to see this. But please, be well. Please come out of this okay. All right. Let's open up our demo for today. So I've got a demo of this running here. It is $12.99, like I said. I've got 4 instances of this running here. I'm using Euclidean, another one of 4Pockets, Paul's great apps, to control 4 versions of this. And I've got a hammerhead on the end here with RingsFX running as an effect. So the drums are sending through the beats through RingsFX. It's not only a physical modeling instrument, it's also an effect that can turn anything into something else. It's quite rad. We'll play this, and then when we come back, we'll tell you what it's all based on and get into the tutorial. Let's play this and hear what it sounds like. Boom. Wow. Let's clear this out of here and show you how this thing works because it's pretty damn nice. We'll open up an instance of it. It is RingsFX. Connect my keyboard to it just for fun. Boom. And let me tell you a little bit about it. So back in the day, there used to be a module for Eurorack called Rings by Mutable Instruments Rings. And Terra Pro has released an in-app purchase, which is a copy of this thing. You can't get this thing anymore. It's an old school piece of kit. And this is it's not an emulation of it. It's an evolution of this. It's Paul's take on this. So it's physical modeling, which is all the rage. Very low impact to download. And it has a whole bunch of different kind of strings and synthesis modes that we can go through. So let's get into it, shall we? So you'll notice straight away a little bit different look to Paul's normal apps. A lot of the buttons all look the same, but a nice little different aesthetic at the back. So it looks a little bit different. People get a bit strange sometimes and complain that things look a little bit too similar with Paul's apps, and it's like, but Blease does the same thing, man. Familiarity, you know what I'm saying? So I really like this. I think it looks quite sexy. Plus, up the top corner here, if you hold down, because you've got a little chevron in the corner, you've got a whole bunch of colors. I like this one, Passion Pink, very sexy. Very sexy. So yeah, probably is still available. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't use it. So there's that. But we've got emerald green, we've got soothing blue, passion pink, French violet. Look at that. Golden brown, texture like sun. There we go. And you can go in here and change all the knob styles. So you can play with your knob. And we can play with all of your knobs if you've got multiple knobs. There you go. So I like the pink one. We're going to stick with the pink one because it's nice. So that's when you hold down this. So I'm holding down and you get that option. If you press once, you get the regular menu here. Menu's pretty simple. You can reinstate your initial patch. You got some settings in here, force full screen, some knob stuff. If you want to change the direction of your knob. And automation, smoothing, some pretty standard stuff here. MIDI control, nothing that's going to like freak you out, you know what I'm saying? If we click again, which window's open, you've got a panic, and you've got this beautiful help menu, which is, of course, put together by our friend David Collett. And yeah, it's beautiful, really easy read to go through and understand what's in here. Nicely put together. And I love this, right? So if I get to here, this section of the help menu, and I want to go, all right, I want to try it. I've read this. I want to try this out. I want to close the help. And if I come back here and open help again, it opens back where you were, where you left off. That is really, really good. I don't, you may think I'm being pedantic on stuff like that, but for someone like me, reading the manual to learn how to use this and then closing the manual, going to try it and coming back, that is a lifesaver. So really good stuff. We'll close the help. Yes, I know I'm jerking off over a help document, but it is what it is. In here, we have our presets. So you can choose between your default. So this is all the presets you get. And you'll notice here, you've got a user bank. And there's nothing in my user bank at the moment. But when you click on default, you have groups here. So you can create a new group like this. You cannot create a new group in these banks because these are presets, right? And then within each group, you have your presets that will be listed here. So you can see them changing. Now, if I come over to my user bank, I can create a group and call it new stuff. Done. Hit create. And now if I want to save something, let's go into our default, choose a preset. And now if I hit save, I can, I want to save it to my bank. So let's go over here, over to my bank and hit save. And I can call it whatever I want here. Deeply, let's just call it that, save. And that will now appear in my default for my user, or I could have moved it in here, yeah? You can rename, go in here, rename, you can delete stuff. Same with groups, I can go in here and rename a group, I can delete a group, goodbye. So all of that functionality, the usual stuff that you can get for a preset menu. Good stuff. We'll go through presets. You can set favorites and you can access your favorites here. So if I go into our presets, choose one of these and we can save these as favorites. So you can do all of that. And let's move on to these synthesis modes. Oh, you've got a random, let's talk about this quickly. You've got a random dice up the top here, right? So if I click random, you can see everything's changing and you can get random sounds. Let me make sure, is my keyboard connected? Input. Let's hit random. So if you're feeling lucky, you can play your luck and hopefully get something random. If I want to bring this back to the initial patch, click on my settings, hit initial patch. This will just reset everything back to the start. All right, so we're back to the beginning. Over in the far right corner, we'll get back to these in a sec. Over in the far right corner, if I hold down, this is our limiter. Now you can always tell with Paul's apps if there's more functionality to a button by the little chevron up in the top corner. You can't kind of see it now because I've zoomed in too far, but see there's a little triangle right up in that top corner. See where my mouse is? That means if you hold down, long press, you'll get extra options. And here is our limiter. So you can choose the threshold of the limiter. It's a good idea to throw a limiter on. So, and if you just press once, that will activate the limiter and you get a little message in the middle telling you our limiter is on now. Okay, so we've got, these are our synthesis modes, and this is fantastic because in previous, in a lot of apps, what these aren't explained. You normally would have to jump over to the help menu. But if we roll over to this tab here down the bottom that says info and keep this open, whenever I move between synthesis modes, you'll notice all this info changes and it's like a quick glance information overload to tell you exactly what these things do and what the knobs underneath do as well for each synthesis mode. So let's go through them and then we'll, so the first one is a modal resonator. This is a modal synthesis. It can be used to stimulate, it can be used to stimulate the phenomena of resonance and strings and plates. So directly underneath these, we have these four knobs here: brightness, dampening, structure, and position. These are the four main knobs to get different sounds out of each of these synthesises. And as you change through these, you'll see the structure, brightness, dampening, and position, what they do for each of these changes. So in modal, we've got our brightness, adjust the level to higher frequency of harmonics. So I'll just play a note and just mess around with this brightness here. We've got our dampening, which controls the delay of the sound. So when we turn this up and then turn it down, it becomes more staccato. We have our structure, which is the frequency ratio between harmonics. So you can hear we're starting to get into more of a bell sound. Really beautiful. And our position is the position of the string or surface where excitation is applied. So this is our first one. Let's move to sympathetic. This is the simulation of vibrating strings which force a sympathetic resonation in other strings like a sitar. So you can hear that sympathetic kind of whine afterwards, after the note's played. And the brightness here, low values simulate materials like wood or nylon. Higher values simulate metal or glass. Let's mess with the brightness to show you that. Dampening pretty much always controls the delay time. So when we pull the dampening down, you're always going to get that. And the position always carries along where the string is exaggerated, where it's kind of played, where it's played along the string. And our structure for this one is the harmonic detuning of the strings. So while we're here, let's talk about this little exciter source up the top here. So currently it's set to none, but we also have a noise that we can add to it. So if we click to noise, things really start to pick up because it's adding into that, it's mixing into that some noise to grit it up. And you can start building stuff like strings, really string sounding. Beautiful, huh? Let's jump to our next one. So we are on our third one at the moment. This is our Car Plus strings, extended Car Plus strong with comb filters, which are used to create inharmonic strings. So we'll turn off the noise. The brightness, low value stimulate. Again, we've got wood and stuff, so similar. A dampening. Our structure gives us non-linear inharmonicity. Say that 3 times fast. And you almost get this water kind of droplet kind of, or kind of wood at the same time. Now our position here, again, this is the position of where the string excitation is. So now you can hear, this is virtually like hitting wood. So very, very incredible stuff. Our next one is an FM synthesis. So 2-operator FM synth. I mean, you're getting your value for money with this thing. Let's give it some dampening. Brightness is going to darken the sound. Let's add some noise up here. Wow. So the structure is a frequency multiplier for the operators. And our position is a little bit different with this one, feedback path. So no feedback at 12 o'clock. Now, the other thing I've left out of this is with the original Rings module, it was only available in monophonic, duophonic, and quadphonic, where the difference is with this, Paul has added polyphonic. So you can see here, oops, I don't have a camera. There it is. What's going on? Why's my camera disconnected? What is happening, camera? Overhead camera. Let's deactivate, reactivate. Come back to me, camera. Okay, you've decided not to work today, so we'll go over here and look at this camera. So with the polyphonic mode, I can actually play chords. Let's bring this brightness up a bit. Whereas, I'm going to just flick back to the modal so we get a better idea of this. So in polyphonic, I can actually play chords, hey G May, where you've got a monophonic, so now we're in mono. And the duophonic over here, the way the duophonic works is you can play two notes, but as soon as I play a third, the first note will vanish. And the same with the quad. I can play 4. But as soon as I play a fifth note, that first note I played will vanish, right? So we've covered that quickly. I don't know where my camera's gone. There it is. Why is my camera munted? Technology, man. I love it. It never works when you need it to. Let me just do this. La 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 la. Hello, camera. You want to come back today? Would you like to come back? Are we all good? Yesterday it was the iPad. Today it's the camera. Nice one. Let's see if I can bring it back quickly because I need my overhead camera. No, you've decided to stop working completely. Camera hub not responding. Nice. Awesome. That's great. That's exactly what I needed. Cool, cool, cool. All right, we'll just get on with it. Fuck me. Where was I? We were at FM Synth. So let's move to chords and show you about chords. So chords is sympathetic strings tuned to Western chords. Going to go back to poly. So the structure in this case is a harmonic structure of a chord, yeah? And you can see as I'm turning this, we're getting M11, M9, 7. Let's add some noise to it. Oh, fuck. Really, really big sounds, yeah? So that's when I turned on a little noise. So I haven't even chosen a patch yet, yeah? So we haven't even opened up a patch or anything like that. So the next one is string verb. This is extended car plus strong with comb filters and a specially tuned reverb. So the same as our string here, but just with a reverb built in. Let's throw in some noise up the top here. Now with all of these too, I've failed to let you know, we've got some other knobs here on the end. We've got our pitch, we can go up a semitone. So we can go up and down 12 semitones. We've got a detune. Double tap to bring back. We have a stereo widener here. And our volume and output. Our last one on the list now with the original Rings module, this was a hidden Easter egg, the synthesizer. So a simple organ and string machine, which was a hidden feature in the original hardware. So the dampening with this one controls the decay time and then attach time. The position changes the FM amount. Our structure specifies a Western chord type again. So you can hear those chords, and I'm just pressing. Damn, what is going on? I'm only hitting one note here, and we're getting these chord structures. And again, if we throw in some noise, now you can hear the noise for exactly what it is, yeah? Boom. So beautiful sounding. So those are all of the synthesis modes. Let's just come back to our original. Beautiful stuff. All right. Let's talk about the tabs down the bottom. It is the halfway point of the show. I need to run an ad, which we do every day here on the channel. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll come back over here. If you want to avoid the ad, become a YouTube Premium subscriber or just sit through and we'll be back in a second. We'll wait for you to come back so you don't miss anything. The ad has been run. While we're waiting for people to come back, if they have been served an ad, you may or may not have been served an ad. Just a reminder, Lini Perez is coming on the show this week for an interview. Can't wait. Very exciting. That is on Thursday, US and UK time. Tomorrow, though, we are taking a look at wherever it is. This app here, it is The Weeping Wall. And it's episode 1200 of this very show. Very exciting. Who would have thought I would get to do 1200 episodes of this utter nonsense? That is happening tomorrow. All right, let's bounce back over here and get going because we got still a lot to get through so we can dump everybody over to Viv Sparrow's Premiere. Let's talk about these tabs. So you've seen this tab over here, the info tab. Let's jump over here because we have over here two LFOs. Two LFOs. These can be sent wherever you like. So you can send an LFO to, say, the brightness. We can do this. So the brightness over here, I can send an LFO there, or I can send LFO 2 somewhere else. We can send all of these to wherever we like. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Very simple stuff. You've got bipolar. You got some smoothing here. You got a re-trigger. So every time the key is pressed, it re-triggers the LFO. You can sync the beat to your BPM, which is currently 60. change speed here. You've got your shape, so you can go through all your shapes of your LFO. Nice and simple stuff there. The skew, all right, so we can go in, that's our warp, sorry, our skew. So we can go in and totally get jiggy with it. And the phase of our shape. So you can go and do all of this stuff very easily here. Change the shape, la la la. We'll come back to this. So you've got 2 of these you can send anywhere you like. We also have an FEG or envelope ADSR, and you've got 4 of these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very easy to move around. Let's just show you with here. So you can move, add parts in as you wish by double tapping, and then move this around. You've got your envelope length here, which you can change, drag. You've got the amplitude, you've got a loop mode, ping pong, default, standard, slow, pretty standard stuff. You've got 4 of these. Now these last 2 are pretty much unassigned, so you can use these for whatever you want. But I do believe this one is for the none and one is for the noise, 1 and 2. All right, so next, and we'll come back to these. Don't worry, I'm not going to go too crazy. If you want to reset these at any time, yeah, so you've set something crazy, nonsensical like this, just hit default and it will reset your envelopes back to wherever you like. The matrix, this is where you can send envelopes or LFOs to, right? So let's show you that. So we've got LFO1 here. I've created a shape. It's ready to go. We can head over to our matrix, look for LFO1. There it is up the top. So you go across the top here. It's a typical matrix. We want to send it to the dampening. So I'm going to, right here in this square, touch down and drag up and to the left or right. So you can go minus, you can go plus, how much of that LFO is going to happen. So now, our LFO is sending, this LFO here is sending, let's put the speed up, to our dampening. We can put it wherever we want, right? So that's completely up to you, to the structure. So hear that? I'm just showing you an extreme case of it, just so you know. And all of this stuff, again, the FEGs can be added. You've got 4 FEGs in here in this matrix. You can add them to whatever you want. You can come in and add to the effects, to pitch. You can scroll down, all this stuff. You've got all of these options with the matrix. Super easy to use. We can add the LFO to the position here, make it minus. Not too bad, huh? Pretty easy to understand, hopefully, because we're don't want to go too deep into it. It's a matrix. You put where you want, you find your thing. It's like Connect 4. And you add, subtract, drag left or right, double tap, it'll clean it out, and you're good to go. Let's talk about the exciter, because this is the thing that's very exciting. So we have a filter here. Let's turn off these matrices. Let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of the LFOs. All right, we'll use this sympathetic with the noise on here. So we have an exciter. Now there's 2 pages here. You can flick between these 2 pages with these 2 dots. The first part of this exciter is a filter, one filter on one side. We've got another filter here. Now, the first filter is for the side exciter source when it's off. The second one is for the noise. So if we quickly add in here, let's do this. All right, so we've added in a filter. I can drag this with my finger, or I can use the knobs here to change the filter. So you can see by me moving this, I'm able to add a filter there. We can go into this one over the top here, put a low pass in. And that is going to affect the opposite side. So we've got two filters there. You can run them in series or parallel. Cool stuff, yeah? All right, let's get to the meat, the real meat of this. You have an exciter level up here too, which you've seen I haven't even thought about yet. Now, if we go over to our second tab with these dots, you'll notice here we've got this lovely little exciter. And if I turn it on, what happens? So I'm just holding down one note. It's really, really sexy. Did I say that in a horrible, weird, gruff voice then? That made everybody sick? Because that's what I was trying to do. So let me explain. It's a pulse sequencer, yeah? So it's used to send noises, noise pulses to the exciter to trigger multiple notes when a key is held. This can be used in preference to using external inputs such as drum loops and stuff, which we'll get to. So if I hold down a chord, we can change the steps of it as well. So we've got some steps here. Make it how many steps you want. We can draw these things in as well with your finger. You've also got a beat divider. Let's show you that. So next to it, there's a beat divider. So we can add it to 4 and it's going to speed up. Fucking beautiful, huh? Really nice stuff. You can clear these at any time, like so. You've got a clear button, and you've got a bunch of presets in here. So you got A to G in presets. You have a re-trigger button here, so which means once this is tapped, every time I hit a new key, it will start again. Nice, rad stuff there. And not only that, this is where it gets really fun. In here, you've got all these options. So we're currently in velocity. We can go to structured chords and draw in. Check this out. Whoa! Let's bring this back to 16 steps. So that's just one of them. And then if we go to our next one, we've got brightness. So this will up the brightness. If I do a whole line up, and our next one is position. Let's go back to brightness first and just remove these. So now if we go to position and go do a whole step up, we'll clear that, and let's check out our dampening. We'll go up again. So the dampening is it gives you a sustain. It starts off with no sustain. and gets louder as it goes, right? Better way, there's probably a better way to explain it. Plus, we haven't even covered effects yet. So you do have an effects section here, and you can come in and do this with your effects. But where are these effects? Well, let me tell you, these are up here. So you've got a bunch of them. These are these onboard embedded effects. You've got a formant. Let's run this. Whoa! A chorus. A reverb. Another formant. An ensemble. And lastly, another reverb. So you've got complete control here with this effects to draw in whatever you want and create your pulse sequences. Yes, the limiter is on. Yeah, I've got the limiter on. I keep it on all the time. If you just hold it down, we can go down a dB as well because you've got control over that. Now, if I want to clear these effects out, let's just clear them out. Let's continue on. So I think you've got the idea how to run this exciter. Yeah, so it's pretty magical. There are two forms of effects here. We have global effects. Now these can be turned on and off up here. So you can turn them off and they won't affect the entire project. If you turn it on up here, all these effects, which you can scroll to the right, you have access to. And we have a chorus. We'll turn it on. Oops, go back. We've got a reverb, which is already on. We've got a digital delay. We've got an overdrive. So shit can get pretty, if we want to turn off these effects, they're gone. Global effects are off with one button. Also, there's a nice little 8-band EQ over here as well if you want to add this in too. So nice little EQ can be reset, turned on at will. You know how to use an EQ. We don't need to go through that, do we? All right, let's talk about back to these modular effects up here. When you got set to no effect, nothing's going to be in there, but you have another way to use these effects. Let's just choose the formant, and over here there's an effects knob, and I can turn this all the way down, or I can, with one knob, bring in these effects. Now remember, I was just playing one sound here. All of these, it's limitless, the amount of cool sounds you can make with all these. So we've got the synthesizer. All right, we'll come back. We'll run through some presets in a moment. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the overall gist of the whole thing. The last thing I want to show you is this because it's fucking rad. Let's just go in here, grab some drums. I'm going to load up Drum Computer. So here's our drum computer. I'm going to choose a drum kit. So we've got a beat happening. And in the effects slot here, we can load up rings as an effect. Now you notice as I load it up, the drums are gone. Let me show you. If we open up rings now, over here, this output mix, because this is now running as an effect. The drums are running into rings as an effect. So if I turn up the output mix now, the drums are coming through. But we don't want that. We want the drums to control this app. And how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you. So let's show you with this on-screen keyboard here. Make sure it's connected, this on-screen keyboard. Yes, so we're able to play this. Now I'm going to go up here, and in our patches, we have a thing called external input. Let me click this, and choose a patch. And now when I hit play, should be, and hold down some notes, right? Because it's still playing, the drums are still playing. I'm going to hit lock to hold down these keys and watch this. So now that drum beat is sending the rhythm through, and you can send anything through. Say a cuckoo clock, some vocals, a bass guitar, whatever you want. And whatever notes you play down here, and you can choose your synthesis mode. And you've got a whole bunch of these sounds. Hey, covered by CQ. Let me take out the drums. So now this is just the music being controlled by the drums. So hopefully you get the idea with that. Now, how do I get to that? Notice up the top, we've got our none, noise. This is the one that allows input. So you need to have input selected when you are using this as an effect to be able to send whatever you want through it, yeah? And we can hit like random now. It's just the input. Let me just connect the other keyboard. There you go. So you get the idea. Pretty damn cool. Was there anything else? We're going to go through some presets, won't we? Let's do that. So what I'll do to go through some presets is very quickly set up a Euclidean from 4 Pockets over here, like so. And then we'll send you all over to Viv Sparrow's Premiere. I won't be playing a song from her today. Instead, my featured artist will be me dumping you over to Viv Sparrow's Premiere. How's that? Sound good? Good. That's what we're doing. Deal with it. So let's send this over to Rings. Let's quickly create something with Euclidean. Boom. Host sync. Do something random. We all good? Everything good? I'm not getting any. We're sending sound, but nothing is happening. What am I doing wrong today? Close. All the parameters are open also in Rings as well. Euclidean out to Rings. Oh, it's to the wrong Rings. That's why. Let's choose some presets. So we got bass sounds. Lots of bass sounds. Little plucky basses. I'm just randomly going through some stuff. We got some keys. Listen to these things, man. Yeah, really cool. It is very similar to a vocoder. Absolutely, Thomas. So these are just your presets. But I think the way to go is to just make shit, yeah? Because there's some beautiful sounds in here. Really? You know, and I haven't added any effects or anything on here. Let's turn on our exciter quickly. Whoa! Hey Mars, there's some really rad sounds in here. Organs. Percussion. Don't forget percussions. Indian drums. Tablas. So, I mean, this is audio modeling, you know? So, got your matrix, all this stuff. Got a gong. If you're not sure what audio modeling is, it's really low impact download, a way to model real world sounds, but they're not samples, yeah? So we've got strings. And lastly, our synth leads. So plenty of sounds, yeah? I think that shows it. I think you got a good idea, hopefully. All right, please, if you are interested in this app or any 4Pockets apps, please go and support our dear friend Paul. He's not doing so good. He is the next, I think it's like 4 to 5 weeks of radiotherapy, getting blasted in the head, man. And he's still got this app out in time for us to enjoy and make music with. So even if it's an old 4Pockets app or it's this new one, go and support Paul. Go and buy something from him and just let him know you love him, yeah? Because he really deserves it. He puts out great stuff. And this is another great app. As I said in the beginning of the show, it's $12.99. I have a couple of copies away to give away for our Patreons this week. All right, we are out of here. Viv Sparrow has a premiere. She's today's featured artist. Tomorrow we're taking a look at Weeping Wall, so come and join us for that. I'm going to dump you. As soon as the show's over, you'll automatically get the option to go over and watch Viv Sparrow's premiere that's happening right about now. Remember, folks, thanks for joining me today. Hit the like on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't. Do all that stuff. It makes me happy. Keeps the algorithm pleased. Stay awake, my friends. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. Let's get out of here. Let's Oge and dump you over to the beautiful Viv Sparrow. Let's Oge!